about mindset. And why do I really need to talk about mindset? Because I've met a lot of people, I've discussed with a lot of people who feel they can't learn some things. Please, I would like everyone to mute their mics, please. This is Fatoyi Adewalepo. Okay, please, everybody, let's mute our mic. Okay, thank you, so that we can have a good recording for those who are not listening to us right now. So, like I said, I have met a lot of people who gave up on so many things. They believe they can't learn this, they believe they can't do that, they believe that, oh, this place, me, this is the only thing I can do. I can never be a science student. Me, I cannot understand maths. Me, I cannot understand anything literature. Me, I'm not interested in it. I have met a lot of people like that. Please, I want to encourage us. The world has changed beyond that. The world has changed beyond that. As it stands now, the world is now multidisciplinary. You must know many things. Like, you must know many things. You cannot just say that this is the only thing you are used to and you want to stick to that. No. And that is what is bringing me to the concept of mindset. So your mindset is a belief in the flexibility of a personal trait or character. So there are basically two types of mindsets as given by this man. We have the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. Now, the book I gave us, that I shared with us, is about mindset. It's about this man called Carol Dweck. He wrote the book and he really did a lot of good job on this issue of mindset. Now, we have fixed mindset and we have growth mindset. Now, fixed mindset believe that traits is inherited and cannot really be altered. So it simply means if you hurt somebody or you yourself, you have said it to yourself that, me, I can only be good in math, I can't be good in any other thing. That means you have a fixed mindset. If you are that kind of person that have told yourself, I can be good in art, I can't be good in science, it simply means you have fixed mindset. Whereas a growth mindset believe that a trait is learned or acquired and can be improved upon. Now, I am presenting this to us because I am aware, and some people have the belief that anything tech is difficult, or tech is for young minds, or tech is from group of people. No, we need to imbibe what we call growth mindset. You can learn anything you desire to learn. You can acquire any skill you desire to acquire. You can improve upon anything you desire to improve upon. Yes, all you need to do is to change your mindset. I have seen it happen to me. I have seen it happen to many people, and I've seen it happen a lot of times. So, our mindset is very, very vital in this particular training we are going to be doing. So, if you are here and you have that mindset or you have that belief that there are some things you cannot learn, I want you to please imbibe a growth mindset this evening. Like, imbibe a growth mindset right now. Now, what is your mindset? Some people may have a certain amount of intelligence and there isn't a way to change it. Some people may have that kind of mindset that, oh, this person, oh, is smart. This person is a genius. Me, I am an average person. Me, I am this, I am that. And they stay with that. That is someone's mindset. This current age does not require that kind of mindset. This is the kind of mindset that is needed in this particular age. The mindset that will say that I can improve my basic abilities and personality. Somebody can say that me, I am hot tempered, so nobody should come and just press the button so that I will be angry. No, you can tell yourself that yes, I am hot tempered, but I can improve on this personality and become cool headed. You can learn new things and improve your intelligence. Yes, intelligence can be improved upon over time. If you train it, you change your mindset, you believe that you can be better, you will actually be better. Some people will say, this person have talent. Please, let's get it straight. Talent can be acquired. Some people say you can't acquire talent. No, you can actually. I know some people from religious background will want to debate this, but let's come to the point that we are talking about here. The world has changed. Knowledge is progressive. A child who does not know art can actually learn art. A child who is not good in writing can learn how to write. A child who is not good in music can learn how to do music. I have seen this happen over time. So studying, working hard, and practicing new skills are all ways to develop new talent and ability. So if you can put in the right effort, you can actually develop whatever you wish to develop. All you need to do is to have the right mindset. So mindset is key in this situation. Now, intelligent mindset. So we want to look at fixed mindset versus growth mindset. Intelligence is innate. That's what a fixed mindset will say. Somebody with a fixed mindset will say intelligence is innate. Somebody with a growth mindset will say intelligence is malleable. Like you can stretch it, you can expand it. Unfortunately, a lot of teachers have made many students to believe that this is who they are and they will remain like that. Because they have fixed mindset, they will now imbibe in the children fixed mindset. If you're a teacher, yeah, if you know you are guilty of that, you need to go and do correction of all the things you have done. Maybe you have told a child that you can never know math and the child believed it. You put a fixed mindset in that child. Meanwhile, you're meant to encourage the child that no, you can grow in this. So a fixed mindset will believe that intelligence is innate in the sense that if somebody is intelligent, and if somebody is not intelligent, is not intelligent. Please, the world has changed. Research has disproved all this. You can improve on it. A fixed mindset will avoid academic risk or challenge, while a growth mindset will embrace it. A fixed mindset will say that no, me, I cannot go beyond this. Like those who are doing the British curriculum, they'll say, this one is a core student. And that student will also settle for that he or she is a core student, not trying to improve on their ability. So you can avoid a fixed mindset will always avoid any challenging task. Why a growth mindset we embrace a challenging task, saying that yes, we can do it, let's attempt it. A fixed mindset will perceive failure or difficulty as indicators of intelligence deficit. So if somebody has a fixed mindset, if the person fail in something, you say, it's because I'm not smart, it's because I'm not intelligent, that's what failing is. No, that's not true. Whereas a growth mindset will perceive failure or difficulty as area of growth. So if you have a growth mindset, you do a task and you fail, you say, I need to look out for my mistake. Why did I fail? What do I need to work on to improve on myself? That is a growth mindset. A fixed mindset often have strong negative emotion, and that person will believe that this is me, I cannot change. No. A growth mindset have moderate emotional response. They are able to do what? They are able to control their emotions a lot. And a fixed mindset have low or moderate achievement, while a growth mindset has high achievement, because that person that has that growth mindset believe that the sky is even my starting point, not the limit. So please, tonight I'm encouraging us, or this time I'm pleading with us to try as much as possible to do what? To imbibe a growth mindset as we start this training together today. There will be, I'm saying this now, I am doing this because this is going to be a rigorous training. There will be a lot of challenges on the way. You will spend a lot of data. You will spend a lot of time on your task. You might have to reduce some of the celebrations you do this Christmas just to make 2025 a better year for you. Yes, that's the truth of the matter. So I want us to imbibe this growth mindset that my intelligence can be improved. I can become better intellectually. I want us to have the ability to embrace challenge. I want us to see ourselves that whenever we fail, it's an opportunity for me to grow. And our emotions should be moderate. Then we can achieve high. So these are types of mindset examples. A fixed mindset can say that I can't grow my brain. Why
Are you
a
listening?
particular. So please, let's try and be muting, please. Very important. So someone with a fixed mindset may have the mindset that I can't grow my brain, but someone with a fixed mindset will say that I can grow my brain. Someone with a fixed mindset will say I want to be the best, but someone with a growth mindset will say I want to get better. So if you become the best, you still be thinking of getting better. And that is why the Western world are improving by the day. Because whenever they discover something, they don't stop there. They still want to improve on whatever they discover. And that's why research continues. Why the Africans, we don't do a lot of research. Even when we do research, we don't respect research, unlike the Western world. And good enough, those in Asian countries are also doing what? Are also imbibing this character now. A lot of research is going on. So a mindset, a fixed mindset will say mistakes mean I am a failure. No. Whereas a positive or growth mindset will say that I will persevere and this will bring me success. A fixed mindset will say any comment, any if people comment on whatever I do, I will ignore it. No, somebody with a growth mindset will say, no, this comment you make, what do you think I can make it better? How do you think I can improve it? Someone with a fixed mindset will say, I give up. If it doesn't work, I just give up if it doesn't work. But someone with a growth mindset will say, I never give up. I will try a new strategy. Now, I am ending this part at this point because I know that a lot of us have given up on this concept of data. I know, I am very sure about that. So, I want you to know that you are not supposed to give up. You are supposed to look for new strategy of becoming better. You are not supposed to give up. You are meant to look for a new strategy of becoming better. And the fact that you join this training, it simply means you really want to look into a new strategy of becoming better at data analytics. So, on the issue of mindset, I want to stop here. We'll continue to look more on this as we continue. So, if you are with me and you appreciate what I've said so far, please kindly give me an emoji to know that people are with me. So please send an emoji, maybe a clap or a thumbs up or wherever you can, so that just to give me a guarantee that we are all together. Okay, thank you very much. A point of note, I want us to know that we have so many um we have so many the age range of this training is very very wide. I am already using data analytics terms for you, so get ready to learn many data analytics terms as I continue. The age range for this training is very very wide. It may interest you to know that in this training we have teenagers. In this training we also have grandpas. So you can see that it is really very very wide. Everyone will all scale through comfortably. I'll try as much as possible to support everybody individually, and that's why I have intentionally put this training during my holidays, because I want to support as many people as possible individually. So please take advantage of this period. Take advantage of this period. Very very important. So let's quickly move into our main course for today, which is basics of data analytics. So as I continue in this, at there are some points that are just general information. I'll be very fast in that situation. And there are some points that I will emphasize a lot because they are not just general information, they are important information that we will need to understand lot of concepts in the course of this training. So I am also going to do what? I'm going to lay a lot of emphasis on that. So let me quickly put on the slideshow for um for this. Okay, so if you can see basics of data analytics on your screen, can I have some thumbs up or just a clap? If you can see basics of data analytics on your screen, just give a clap or some thumbs ups. Okay, thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for that. So what we have now is basics of data analytics. Actually, in life we are all doing this. We're already involved in data analytics as every as individuals. Every one of us are already involved in data analytics, directly or indirectly, consciously or unconsciously. We are all involved in the concept of data analytics. If you are calculating your age, if you are taking note of how you are improving your age, that is data analytics in a very simple way. If you have children, how you, okay, if you are doing in your house, you are doing your budgeting, you are calculating how you can meet up with expenses and things like that, you're already involved in something called data analytics. But it's just that it can be consciously and unconsciously, and at times we just do it without knowing that it's really working out. However, in this today we are going to cover the following context. We'll have an overview of data analytics. We'll see the use of data analytics. We'll see types of data analytics. We'll see data analytics steps, data collection method, levels of data analysis. Then we'll look at data ecosystem and life cycle. We'll look at data management, data protection and ethics, the application of data analytics, data analytics skills you need, variable types. You see, all those ones I mentioned previously, I will be very fast with them, so it won't take our time. When we get to these 18 variable types, that is where the real class will start. So all those ones that I've mentioned from 1 to 17, all those ones, I'll just be reading them out quickly for everybody to understand. Wherever I need to emphasize, I'll just emphasize briefly. But when we get to variable types, that is where I strongly believe that we need to take note of. So please, let us be at alert. Once we get to these variable types, we need to be at alert so that we can have a very good understanding of this concept. Then we look at measures of measurement of variables, inferential statistics, statistical tools and their applicability, and we'll end it at that point. So quick one, overview of data analytics. So businesses, individuals, corporate organization, everyone around can use data to enhance their marketing efforts and better understanding of their customers or whoever you are relating with. Now, in this current age, it's all about data. Those of us who are already users of AI, AI is made possible because of data. It is the field of data analytics that has also helped to bet the field of AI. So data now influences everything we do, organization decisions, um, everything we do, business decisions, government decisions has to come through data. So systematically analyzing data and deriving actionable insight from them has become very critical in this modern age. So whatever you want to talk now, you can't just state opinion. And that's why I don't respect people on social media. People who talk anyhow on social media, I don't give them respect because most of them they just talk based on maybe they saw someone do this. They now believe everybody is doing it. No, that is not how the world is now. The world has changed. We need to have backup of data to prove whatever point we are trying to what to raise. If we want to take decision, it has to be based on data. Those of us in corporate organization, we understand very well some of these things I'm talking about, and those of some of us in government too, we also understand some of these things that we are talking about. So this is just a basic overview of data analytics. So continue. Data analytics versus data analysis. So data analytics is just the general term. It involves data management process as well as the method and tools that we use. Whereas data analytics is when you break down a given data collection, you break it down into different constituent elements and you look at it, how all these data relate, then you are analyzing. But analytics is just the general term used to explain the concept of data. So we can also look at data science versus data analytics. So data science is the process of creating, cleansing, organizing data sets in order to evaluate and extract meaning from the data. On the other hand, when you talk about data analytics, you look at the method, practice of analyzing, answering questions, extracting insights, discovering trend. So it's kind of broader. Then uses of data analytics for product research, risk management, budgeting and forecasting, marketing, and sales. Now, a lot of us that are too attached to social media, it is possible because those people who are at the background stage, they are the back end, they understand what we want through data analytics. I don't know if it has happened to some of us before. Maybe you are thinking of buying something, you are thinking of buying something, and by chance you saw it online and you now scroll and you now wait like 2 minutes to read that thing. From that time forth, anytime you go online, it is that thing that you thought of buying that you scroll through that time, they will continue to bring for you. Why is it possible? It is possible through when they have analyzed the data that you've given them by scrolling through those items. So they now know through that insight that, oh, this person wants this kind of good. So they keep bringing that kind of good. Maybe you order a product from Jumia. After ordering that product, for the next one, they'll keep bringing everything related to that product for you, thinking you buy, or maybe you like it. So that is data at work. Those of us who are who are doing our postgraduate studies currently, without data analysis, your research is nothing. In fact, that is where bulk of the defense comes from. So it's very important. Then for budgeting and forecasting, those of us in government and public service, these are some basic use of data analytics. So still on use of data analytics, we can read up that. Then types of data analytics, this is also very important. We have descriptive data analytics. So descriptive, like you have taken data, so you want to have an understanding of the data you have taken. You want to evaluate it, you want to understand it, you want to look at the character of what has happened. So that's just giving a description of what has happened. Then we have diagnostic analytics. So this diagnostic analysis goes beyond just the description stage. So it tries to ask the question why. So you see some things happening, you now get data to be able to know why those things are what are happening. For example, in your school, you notice that students are failing a particular subject. You can carry out a survey or design a questionnaire for the students so that you can be able to derive insight on why they are failing that particular subject. That's the diagnostics. So when you analyze the data, the results or whatever you get is going to be diagnostic in nature, just to know why something is happening. Then we also have predictive analytics. You want to answer questions about what will happen in the future. Predictive analytics. So someone, for example, can look at Nigeria's economic trend. I did a project on that in one of my recent data analysis training. I looked at Nigeria economic trend, time from Obasanjo down to Buhari. I looked at the inflation rate, I looked at the GDP, I looked at the unemployment rate, I looked at what I think so many metrics. Then from all those things that are happening in the past, I can now get a model to be able to predict that, okay, oh, because of so 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 and so, most likely this is what will happen next year. Those of us in crypto, doing crypto, those of us who are involved in stock markets, we use this a lot. We use this predictive analytics a lot. And those of us who have idea of AI is helping a lot of people to make money through this predictive analytics, especially for cryptocurrencies and for stock exchange all around the world. So if you have interest in that area, this is a good one that you can actually consider to study very well. Then we also have prescriptive analytics. So this one will outline the specific activity that a person or organization should do in order to meet future aims or goals. Now, this prescriptive analytics is one of the areas where data analytics are needed in industries today. Lots of industry are facing different challenges. They need analytics, data data. They need data people in the data field that can help them to look at what has been happening in their company and be able to tell them that, oh, because of this thing happening, these are things you can put in place to avoid or to stop this thing from happening in the future, or to make this thing better in the future. So the field of data analytics is wide. We must be conversant with all these ones, and we can also decide to have our area of strength as we move forward in the field of data analytics. Now, this is the data analytics steps. You set your goals, you prioritize measurement, you do data collection, you do data cleaning, you do data analysis, then you interpret your results. I won't dwell too much on this. Then this is also the data analytics steps that we can also go through. I just mentioned some of these things in a while ago. Now, these are data collection method. There are many ways you can collect data, but we can sum them into either directly or indirectly. maybe through interviews such as in-depth interview or focus group, or indirectly questionnaires that can be administered personally or virtually. The in Currently the interview is taking a lot of in the social media, in the social sciences. This interview method is becoming much more increasing. Like I have been able to do analysis for, I think, for a good number of people who they had to do interview um with their subjects, and we had to transcribe about 1 hour 30 minutes interview for more than 20 people, and we did in-depth analysis of those interviews, bringing out insights from them. So that is also a very important one. Then we also have indirect one, that's questionnaire that can be administered personally or virtually. Then levels of data analysis. Okay, this is very important. We should take note of this too. We have the univariate data analysis. Univariate is like one data analysis performed on a single data set. So, okay, I think. All right, thank you so much for your understanding. So now we were at levels of data analysis. So if you are doing data analysis on one particular data, a single data set, it is called univariate. So please let us mute those of us who are joining back. Please let's mute. Let's mute. Check yourself if you are not muted, and mute quickly. Okay, so that to avoid the noise, maybe I'll have to help this person. Okay, fine. So if you are dealing with a single set of data, that is univariate. Maybe you have list of scores, and in that list of scores, you want to find the mean, the median, the mode, the frequency distribution, and things like that. So what you are doing is univariate analysis or univariate analysis. If you are just using or analyzing one set of scores or one set of data, that's univariate. But if you are looking at two sets of data, that is bivariate, and you are doing that at the same time. So in this situation, you want to know the relationship, you want to know the difference, you want to know the connection, you want to know the impact one has over the other. That is bivariate analysis. Please take note of this point because we also need it in statistical too. We will be discussing it in the next class. That's advanced data analysis. So univariate, a set of data. Bivariate, a set of two sets of data, and in this situation you are looking for a relationship between them. Say for example, you want to know the relationship between student scores or student performance in WAEC or IGCSE or in SAT and their age. You can see you're now dealing with two sets of scores now, two sets of data sets to say. So you are looking at the age and you're looking at their performance in an external exam, say WAEC, SAT, or IGCSE or IB exam. So that is bivariate. Then multivariate is when you're looking at comparing so many things. For example, now, if you want to do analysis on students' performance, you cannot just do univariate and conclude. You cannot do bivariate and conclude. It has to be multivariate because there are so many things that affect students' performance in school. Yes. For Nigeria, for example, if you want to look at factors affecting inflation in Nigeria, you know that there are so many things that we'll be talking about. So that is an idea or levels of data analysis. Then quick one, data ecosystem and life cycle. I won't dwell too much on this because I really want to have a situation where we can have an interaction by the end of this session, because I need to be fast today and the next session, because from the third section it is just going to be only practical. You have to be with your system, you'll be doing what I'm doing, or you look at what I do, then I'll give you tasks to do. So that's why I'm trying to cover as many ground as possible. So data ecosystem is just everything that you do around data. So around data you have generation, you can generate data. You can use questionnaire to do that. Part of data ecosystem is collection. You collect data. Part of data ecosystem is processing, like cleaning the data. That's it too. Part of it is storage. You need to store data, and that is why some tools are also very important. As you grow in the field of data analysis, you'll be hearing of different other different types of tools, especially SQL. That involves a lot of data storage too. Then management, how you can put them together and coordinate the data that are available in your space. Then we also have analysis, which is the one we are focusing on currently. Then there is visualization. We'll also do a little of visualization in Excel. There's visualization. Then we also have interpretation. So these are data ecosystems. So everything about data must be around this. Once you see data, generation is involved, collection is involved, processing will be involved, then storage could be thought of. Managing it is also a factor. Then you need to analyze it too. So everything you do around data, you have generation, collection, processing, storage, management, analysis, visualization, and interpretation. Then data management has to do with data storage and data entry. For those of us who have attempted to do freelancing, you must be seeing so many jobs that has to do with data entry. Yes, data entry is also an aspect of data analytics that a lot of people are getting jobs about. So you store data in some, you can store it in the cloud, some can store it in their private database, some can store it as wherever it's easy for them. Then data entry too, we collect data every now and then. Some people collect data through Google Forms, some people collect data on spreadsheets. Anytime you enter a new website, they are interested in your data. They want to collect data from you. Like I've asked us to fill form, I am collecting data. You have entered it, me I'll store it, me I'm storing it in the cloud. And for your information, those data we are collecting, those are the data we are going to use as our own practical during this training. We are using we ourselves, the data we get among ourselves is what we're going to use as our own practical. We will analyze it, we will create insights, we will do a lot of things with those data, and I'm very sure you'll be excited about what you yourself you do if you put in sufficient work into this process or this class that we are going through. Now, data protection and ethics, this is very important. As a data analyst, data privacy is very important. In fact, I've been involved in some projects where if you must ask question, like the interview project I mentioned, we needed to ask the person that we are interviewing that, please, are you sure that you are comfortable with this interview? In fact, we had to tell them that whenever you feel the interview we have done with you, you are no more comfortable, you are free to call us back to retrieve that recording and we'll be obliged. So data privacy is very important. Please, I don't want us to think locally, I want us to think globally, and that's why I have to apply this. I know some of us will be like, what is data privacy in Nigeria? No, please, this is not about Nigeria or Africa. This is global issue. And at this point in time, we should have known that what in any way we are thinking, we should be thinking globally, not locally anymore, because the world is not a global village. And for you to compete and be and be able to compete effectively in the world today, you must be thinking globally. You must be thinking globally. And that's why our students these days, we teach them global perspective. It is not for free, it's for a reason. So data privacy is very important. We must always have in mind that we must protect data of people we are collecting. If there is any breach, they can sue us, and that could cause a lot of problems. So please, let's have that in mind. Very, very important. So data protection and ethics, data privacy, data integrity, like whatever data you are gathering, it must be true, it must be reflective. And there are a lot of threats to data integrity, like inconsistency format, human error, error in data collection, and cybersecurity, where there will be breach, where online thief, let me put it that way, online thieves, online armed robbers can steal people data and use it against them. Like sometimes they will call us that you get a pin now, send it to us. Those are people who are breaching data privacy, trying to collect your PIN to have access to your account or to hack your WhatsApp. WhatsApp is commonly hacked. So let's watch out for that. Very important. Then the application of data analytics. We have talked about this before, but I'm just going to emphasize it a little bit. Retailing, banking, media and entertainment, healthcare. As a matter of fact, everywhere, education, government, in your own house, at home. In fact, Nigeria of today, not Nigeria actually alone, everywhere around the world, because things are getting seriously expensive. So we must be critical about analyzing what we spend our money on to get good value for whatever we are doing. So this, as a data analyst, these are some skills you will need, and this is very important. As a data analyst, these skills are very, very important. One, critical thinking. Critical thinking. You must be able to look at things objectively, not just believing what somebody said. If somebody says this, you cannot just take it hook, line, and sinker. You have to look at it. Why did this person say this? Who is this person referring to? You must look at the context. You cannot just share whatever they post to you. You must be able to look at it critically and be sure that what you are posting or sending to other people is the correct thing. So as data analysts, these are key points you must also know. Critical thinking. Then hypothesis formation and testing. Hypothesis is you could look at data and make a guess, come up with something and test it for you to be able to know if what you came up with is true or false. For example, from the data I have collected from us, I can make a guess that most of us who are carrying out or participating in this training, we're doing so because we want to make some dollars online. We want to go into freelancing, we want to go into, maybe we want to join Upwork and start doing work for people so that we can make some good cool cash. That's a guess. And after analyzing the data, my guess may be correct. Maybe that's exactly why a lot of us join this data. Okay, I can make an inference that a lot of us join this data because we are postgraduate students. We want to be able to analyze and present, do what we call technical writing. Yes, technical writing is part of writing projects and writing data-based articles. Then data wrangling, that is, you must know how to clean data. See, by the time you start data analytics, you will know that data can be messy. A lot messy in the sense that it will not be looking fine. People are not willing to give out their information. So when you get information, you can get information that you will be stressed. You have to rejiggle it to be able to get insight from it. So you must know how to do what? Clean data. You must polish it, make it look presentable. Then you must have mathematical ability. Don't be scared about this, because the mathematical ability we are talking about is even the computer that will do it for you. It's not like you'll be working on Excel and you now be asking yourself what is 345 times 445. No, Excel will do all those ones for you. Excel will do them for you. So the mathematical ability we're talking about are just the basic idea of math that we already know. Then visualization of data. Yes, if you are here and you are good at graphics design, that's interesting. You have edge when it comes to visualization. If you are here, you understand colors, you know how to use color to make things look presentable, you have an edge when it comes to visualization of data. So you can see that it is encompassing. The skills you need in data analytics is what is encompassing. So now let's quickly move forward. Variable, good. This is where I was talking about that I really want to dwell much in this area. Now, variable is a quality that may be observed by measurement and that can alter throughout an experiment. What does that mean? If you are doing something, what is that quality what is it that you want to measure? That's a variable. What is it that you want to adjust? That's a variable. What is it that you want to change? That's a variable. What is it that you want to improve upon? That's a variable. So think about variable as whatever you are trying to measure. For example, now, for those of us in school settings, student achievement is a variable. You want to measure student achievement. Like me, while I'm doing this training with us, at the end of today's lesson, I want to measure what we have learned and already prepare a question for us. And that's part of what I sent in our what? In our schedule of activity. So that's a variable. Yes. Okay, for those in the business world, profit is a variable. You want to check how you are making profit. You want to check if the profit is increasing or reducing, or it is static. That's a variable. Loss could also be a variable. So think of variable as whatever you intend to measure in an experiment, whatever you intend to change in an experiment, or at times whatever you want to keep constant that it will not be affected in an experiment. All those things are variable. So at home, at home, income is a variable. Yes, maybe combined income of husband and wife, or only the husband income. That's a variable. You could want to see how the variable expenditure is also a variable. Yes, yes. So at every aspect, whatever you intend to measure, whatever you intend to assess, whatever you intend to look at how it is affecting other things, they are referred to as variable. So now, types of variable, we have the dependent or outcome variable. So the dependent or outcome variable is the one that is being measured in the research. Yes, I'll use school a lot because I am from the school setup. But you will observe that I'm also trying to use the business word as much as possible, because this topic is for research and business, and I'll also be looking at the social science field too. So whatever you are trying to measure in a research, it's a variable. So you ask yourself, what am I measuring? What is it that I'm expecting from this experiment? This analysis I want to do, or this work I want to embark on, what am I looking at? What do I want to find out? Okay, Nigerian government has invited me to come and do something about inflation for them. So you want to find out what are the things, or I want to measure the level of inflation in Nigeria, or I want to measure the level of unemployment in Nigeria. That's an outcome variable. That's what I want to try to measure. So the way it is, the way you craft your project, or you craft your, yes, project, the way you craft it, that is what will tell you or give you an idea of the dependent or outcome variable. Now, when it comes to independent variable, that is explanative variable, is what is altered to see how it is affecting the dependent variable. For example, now let's look at food prices. We want to see what affects food prices. So that thing that affects food price is what is independent. For example, availability of farm machineries to farmers can affect food price. So food price is depending on the availability of farm machinery. Please, I need to be sure that I'm making sense with us. If you know you are getting my point, you can just indicate so that I'll be able to know that we are with me. So food price, good. Food price will depend on if farmers are getting farm machineries. It can also depend on if farmers are getting subsidized fertilizer from the government. So that is, so you can think of it as this thing depend on this thing. So if A depends on B, then B is independent, A is dependent. Very straightforward. So whatever project you are doing, if you want to find the dependent variable, look at it from the sense that, okay, what is making this one to change? If B is making A to change, then B is independent while A is dependent. It's as simple as that. As we move on, we're going to use real life examples, and it is really going to help us to have an understanding of whatever we're discussing right now. So now we also have the discrete variable. So a discrete variable is one that has only finite positive values such as whole numbers and cannot accept any other number other than its highest and lowest value. Now I know a lot of people want to raise question here because I know a lot of us are in the world of research. So we'll be thinking of independent variable, dependent variable, and somebody wants to talk about constant variable. Yes, the way you see it may differ. The way you see it may differ. But the most important one we are really going to emphasize on in this situation is going to be our dependent and independent, because in the world of in the world of research, yes, there could be a constant variable that can be kept constant throughout the experiment. However, we will look more on the dependent and independent variable. But the discrete variable we are talking in this situation is a part of measurement. So this one has a finite positive value like whole number. You cannot accept any other number as the highest value. I think we'll talk about more of this when we talk about measure measures, ratios, and ordinal ratio, nominal ratios, and things like that. So let's quickly move forward to look at types of variable. So this is the one we are talking about now. So the previous slide hits into this. So we have the count variable. Count variable is also a discrete variable that consists of positive integers. We have the categorical variable. So now in this situation now we are looking at them in terms of their number values. That's how we are looking at them in terms of their number values, their quantitative values, and qualitative values. That's the way we are looking at this variable now. So I think I'm getting a sound from somewhere. Let me see if I can um, discover and mute the person. Okay, okay, okay. Sorry. Let me quickly mute this person. You may not be aware that the mic is on. So in this variable, talking about variable in this instance, we are looking at them in terms of their values, quantitatively or qualitatively. That's how we are seeing them in this situation now. Okay, so we have count variables that you can count. They have positive number from negative to 0 to plus and things like that. Then we have the categorical variable. Now each unit of observation and response can be categorized into certain group by bringing them together. For example, male and female, that's category. Employed and unemployed, that's category. We can have age bracket to can categorize age too. So that's also a kind of categories. So then we have confounding variable, a variable that influences both independent and the dependent variable. I think I mixed this one up with the other one too, confounding variable or constant variable. Then we have the qualitative variable. So a qualitative variable is a categorical variable, meaning you can't quantify it and cannot take the form of a number. You can't quantify it and it can't take the form of a number. Like you can't quantify male and female. Yes. Who will you give? Although in the world of science, I think they give male 0 and they give female 1 in the world of computer, but the number is not like a number that has value. Meaning, if for example give male 1, we give female 2, it doesn't mean that 2 indicate that female has higher price than male. That's not what we're talking about. So a qualitative variable does not have numerical value, while quantitative variable have numerical value. Now some of these things are things that you'll be seeing every now and then. Most at times a lot of people get to mix them up. Please don't mix them up. They are just different way of identifying the variables you are measuring. Very important for us to take note of. Now measurement of variable, this point is also very critical. To measure a quantitative variable, there are 4 scales. We call these scales of measurement, and it is used to measure quantitative variable. The first one is the nominal scale. The categories and value on a nominal scale are equal. So in nominal scale, there's nothing like this one is higher than that one. That's nominal scale for you. So we can use nominal scale to also split into categories. We can relate it to type of category. Like I said, in computer science, those in computer science, I think they give 0 to 1 I can't remember. I'm not too sure. I think they give 1 0 to male and 1 to female, or 1 to male and 0 to female. So that's nominal. It doesn't count. Let's give another instance, like good footballers. Goalkeepers are number one. It doesn't mean goalkeepers are the least important player. Strikers are number 9. It doesn't mean strikers are the most important players. For those of us who watch Serie A, you must have seen different players even have number 99. That the fact that he has number 99, it does not mean that he is the most valuable player there. So the value doesn't really count. It's just nominal. Let's just give it so that we have something to hold. Like if we are looking for somebody who is number 9, we know who is number 9. If we are looking for somebody who is number 2, we know who is number 2. So that's just the idea. It's not like it's the most valuable or the most important or the least important person. I hope that makes sense to us. So we can move on quickly. Okay. So we now move to the next one, which is ordinal scale. This is regarded as an ordered categorical variable. So numbers are given to each category to indicate which is higher in hierarchy. You can see that we have stepped up now. Nominal, it doesn't matter whether it's hierarchy, but ordinal, it is what? In hierarchical level. First, second, third, fifth, sixth, and so on like that. So that's ordinal. So this ordinal in this situation, there is a value for it. For example, now, if you are talking about level of satisfaction, good. Whenever I buy something online, they can ask us to rate the product. Yes, they can ask us to rate the product. Like you can rate it from 1 star to 5 star. So that's a kind of ordinal scale. So if you give it 5 star, that's best. But if you give it 1 star, that's poor. That is hierarchical. So that's a kind of ordinal scale. Then interval scale. The difference between two values can be measured using the interval scale, a quantitative measurement scale. So interval, you are looking at how they differ from each other. Which one increase from the other? So for example now, you look at the value of two vehicles. You want to buy a Mercedes Benz and you also want to buy a Honda. So you can see that without saying too much, most likely the Mercedes Benz will be more expensive than the Honda. So there's a difference in the value between the two of them. So that is a kind of interval scale you can think of. I can also think of interval scale in terms of ranking too. Yes, I think it's possible too. Then ratio scale. This is quantitative measurement that allows for the quantification of differences between values. It has a zero value or origin. So that's a very sharp difference between interval scale and ratio scale. Although interval scale both are more quantitative than others, but then for interval scale and ratio scale are quantitative in nature much more. But then interval scale may not have true zero value, but ratio scale has a true zero value. Like you are starting from a particular origin and you are counting upward. Like age, for example, you can start from 0 and you can count your age upward. That's ratio scale. For interval scale, you could think of, for those of us who are in science, you could think of temperature. You could think of temperature. The fact that the temperature of a place is 0 does not mean that is the lowest temperature. There are still other values below 0. So, but you can find the difference between the temperature of point A and point B. That's interval. But for ratio scale, it has to have a 0 origin. Like I mentioned, the age, it has 0 origin. So those are very, very important points that we must need to get used to in our data analysis experience or learning. So we have inferential statistics. I think we have mentioned something like you are trying to make inference, you are trying to deduct something, and under that we have the parametric test, the non-parametric test. So parametric test is one that makes an assumption about the parameters in a population. Like it's basically assumed that a data is distributed, like normally distributed. What do we mean by normally distributed? It simply means it's not a tweaked data, in the sense that if we use let me use, okay, a normal data should give us that Whenever there is a high demand in something, the price may increase. That is a normal data. Whenever you have a classroom of students, you will get high flyer like 10%, low flyer like 20%, average students will form around 70%. That's a normal distribution. And in that situation, we have some statistical tool that we can use to do measurement in that situation. They have talked about t-test and Pearson correlation test. Those ones will be discussed in the next class. Then we also have the non-parametric test. Non-parametric statistics are most typically used for nominal or ordinal level variable. So in this situation now, you are not looking at the true value. They are variables that do not have normal distribution. So nominal, remember we talked about nominal and ordinal, not actually having the true value of the number attached to them. Like football, you cannot say that because somebody is number 10, that person is one of the most important in football. No, that is not, that is nominal. So the 10 is not actually 10 in the real sense of number. So we use non-parametric text to do some of this. That's when we'll be looking at chi-square subsequently. Then statistical tool and their applicability. So this is also another important part we must look at. I am mentioning this and I'm emphasizing this especially for those of us who are research students, who will be doing research as postgraduate students. I know we have some people who are still younger, who are not yet in university, or some people who have left university for long. But this aspect is also key and very important for us to know, because by the time we start to apply this thing in the real world, it will still come to play. It will still come to play. So depending on the variables and desired outcome of investigation, many statistical tools are appropriate for use. Let's look at some statistical tools now. Please, this statistical tool that I'm actually talking about now is key in the sense that whenever you go for defense, if you become a data analyst, you will go for presentation and they'll ask you to interpret some of these things we are talking about, some of the works you have done. They will ask you to defend it, to explain it, to interpret it. If you cannot defend, explain, and interpret them, it will speak volume about the kind of knowledge you have. So let's look at this statistical tool we are looking at here. So we have percentage, frequency, and cumulative frequency. The level of analysis is univariate. And what do we use them for? We use to describe, to determine how the values are distributed among each other. For example, now one of the things I'm going to do with our data is I will check the percentage of female participating in this training and the percentage of male participating in this training. So that is a statistical tool. I can check the frequency, like the number of people who register for this training. That's also a statistical tool. Then we also have mean, median, and mode. Also, the level of analysis is univariant, just one. So mean, median, and mode are used to identify central tendencies, like measures of central tendencies. I can find the mean age of everyone participating in this training I'm doing now. I can find the median age and I can find the modal age, like which age bracket is more in this training I'm doing. And the variables I'm going to use are going to be quantitative or numeric variable. Then we also have standard deviation, variance, standard error. This one is univariate, just for one. So I can, if I give you like the test we are going to do today, I can find the mean, median, and mode of the test. I can find the standard deviation, variance, and standard error of the test. So you can see that the variable they are showing here is numeric. So this one will help me to measure if the test I gave to us, if it is actually doing what I want it to do. It will now make me to refine it and see how I'm going to improve upon it so that I'll be able to do it correctly. Then chi-square, that's bivariate. Like there have to be two data that are what that we can check how they are relating together. So chi-square is employed when both the independent and dependent variables are nominal or ordinal level of measurement. Like there are categories, two categories. Like I can find relationship, I can find What is the relationship between male and female perception of this train I'm doing? I can do that. So it is also used to determine the significance of one variable effect over another. So you can see it has to be categorical variable. When I say categorically, like groups, groups of people that we are talking about. So male and female is category. Um, age brackets, you can categorize age brackets too. It's also something as such. Then we also have Pearson's correlation. That's Pearson's R. Is also bivariate. In this situation, you want to check the coefficient. You want to check the relationship between two continuous variables. For example, I may want to check the relationship between inflation rate and unemployment rate in Nigeria. I can do that. I can use correlation to check that. Then Fisher's exact text is also bivariate to determine whether one variable has significant effect over another. These are the things. This is just introduction to some of these things. By the time we start our real XPSS, we are going to do projects on every of these statistical tool we are talking about, and we are going to see how we can set research question and also interpret our research question from this, or not only research question, also hypothesis too. We are going to do that. Then we have one sample t test, independent sample t test, also used to check relationship between two continuous samples or variables. So thank you for listening to this lesson. I am sorry I've taken much of our time. So at this point in time, I'll open the floor for as many who may have comments or question about some of the things that we have discussed so far. So this is very important for us, and that's why I gave all the timetable. These 2 days, these are the two things we are really going to talk about. On the third day, that's when we'll start practical fully, because I want us to really understand